What's up, YouTube? This is my new channel, DW Designs, and what we're going to be doing here on this channel is fabrication and anything, off-road, restoration jobs, exciting projects, like buggies, sand rails, off-road, even old school classic cars. That's what the whole point of this channel is. I'm new to this, as you guys probably could tell right off the bat. I don't have fancy cameras, I don't have a mic or anything like that, so please hang in there with me as we do this thing. So anyway, with that being said, let's do a little introduction. My name is Derek. I am a new business owner. This is all coming from scratch, not bought from anybody or anything like that. I came up with this logo, as you can see here. These hats are up for sale on my website, which I'll post in the description below if you guys are interested. So I'd appreciate any support I can get. So please like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends and stuff like that. So with that being said, let's take a small shop tour, and I'll tell you about myself a little bit in the shop tour and show you around. So one of the first things I'm going to show with you guys, or share with you guys rather, this 1969 Ford Bronco. This is a good friend of mine's, and he's been working on it for the last like 3 years. It's been in his garage and whatnot. So we've been working on getting it done. As you can see here, all the paneling and body work is finished. This was a fresh body, and we assembled it and put it together, as well as fit and finish. And what we're doing at the moment is we're going to be doing a roll cage in here. Look out for future videos on this. I've already started it, as you can see, but that's okay, because there'll be lots of stuff down the road from now that you guys can watch and learn. I'm gonna be teaching, as well as also like vlogging in a sense of way. So I want everyone out there to get a cool experience in this, and I want everyone to follow my journey along with this as well. So that's that. Over here we have my planishing hammer and my English wheel. This is a Bailey planishing hammer, as you can see. You can pick these up for a fairly low price. They're not super ridiculously high in price. And let me tell you, it moves metal very, very, very fast. I've used it only a handful of times. This is a new piece of equipment. I bought it because I do plan on using it, and so it's just something I'm gonna need. This here is my English wheel. Some of you might actually recognize where this English wheel comes from. This is a Harbor Freight English wheel that I converted to more of an industrial style type English wheel. If you guys would like to see more an in-depth video on that, I can do one. Just post in the comments below, and I will do my best to do so. I'm a pretty busy guy, so I gotta try and keep everyone happy with the customers and stuff like that. This here is my welding bench. I started welding this bumper up this morning. I had to take a break because my torch is getting too hot. My amps on this thing are like 200 right now I'm running, and this torch is only rated for 150, so I can't weld very long, otherwise it's going to mess up my torch. But I can weld at 200 for a little while. Let's show you what I got for a welder setup. I have an Eastwood Digital TIG 200. I bought this about 3 years ago, 3 years ago, when I first started TIG welding. I started teaching myself how to TIG weld, and then I actually put that down and went to school for TIG welding. I went to the Fab School in Rancho Cucamonga, California, and I had a great experience there. I learned a lot from the teachers, and that was about almost 2 years ago now. And I've been fabricating ever since. I worked at a prior job in Redlands called Nick Sold Cars. I did custom cars and stuff like that, hot rods, old school restorations, stuff like that. If you guys want to see some photos of stuff I have done in the past, you can go check out my Instagram at DW Designs one. No, sorry, that's wrong. DW Designs Fabworks with an X at the end is my Instagram name. I'll put it in my description below. So over here we got a mill drill, nothing fancy. We're planning on upgrading to a Bridgeport or a tree, which would be much, much better than what this is. This is only for little odds and end jobs, you know, not very efficient, but it gets the job done as a starter. This is a 1942 LeBlanc lathe. This thing is amazing. It was made during World War II. There's no way for me to tell if this has been used through the service or not, but it's amazing to think that it could have, and that in itself is amazing. This is my JD Squared tube bender with a power ram on it. I had it manual, but I was getting tired of doing it, so we invested in one and got it, and it works amazing. For those of you who don't have one, I really suggest it, because let me tell you, bending DOM or chromoly tubing with the setup that what it was before with by hand is really, really difficult to do. This is my brother's little toolbox here, nothing fancy. This is a tube notcher here. We got this for notching the end of the fish mouth into tubes. If you guys would like to see that, you know, let me know. You know, I'm not opposed to teaching anybody anything. Here I got my 15-inch sander, and I have a wall-mounted sander here as well. I also got one down there, wall-mounted to the pole for buffing, but it's not quite finished yet. As you can see here behind me, there's a sand rail in here. This is a current client of mine. I'm not going to show too much about it. I'm not so sure if he's wants this up on YouTube or not, but you know, well, you guys get the idea. I'll ask him about it and see if he's okay with me doing some videos on it and whatnot. This over here, I know it's a mess. This is my CNC machine. We're turning it into a plasma cutter. It was originally set up for cutting tile, believe it or not. A guy gave it to me for free out of the kindness of his heart. He was moving to Texas and he didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me. But it was also my grandfather's, and I'm going to get into that for just a second. That's why you see this piece of equipment here. This is called an edge bander. This was made to do edging on cabinets and stuff like that. I did woodworking for many, many, many years. Since I was about 7 years old, I started working in the shop. I basically grew up in the shop. And then I took it over after he died, and I started, this is a sandblast cabinet, taking over and putting in my own fabrication stuff. And it's, you know, it's very long, as you can see. Not so much deep wise, but it's very, very long. Upstairs, I have a whole bunch of woodworking equipment. I have lathes, you know, saws and stuff like that upstairs. And, you know, we'll do another video on that maybe another time when I'm actually doing some woodworking and it's actually clean up there, because right now it's really, really bad and it's quite embarrassing in my opinion. So I'm not going to post anything on that at the moment. But if you guys are interested, please leave a comment down below. So what this is a Lexus bumper for a 4x4 off-road Lexus. You know, similar to the Toyota Sequoia or the 4Runner, basically. And I started welding it here this morning. As you can see, a good stack of dimes there going on. Same thing with right there and inside there and there. And you know, we're gonna get it done. So anyway, hope y'all are interested in this channel. You know, I'm gonna try to work hard to bring good content for all of you guys, so that way you guys will learn something and you know, look forward to doing maybe some of this stuff yourself. You know, if you learn how to do it. So if you guys have any suggestions on what you'd like to maybe learn, or, if I can shoot you a message, saying, hey, this is how you do that or whatever, feel free. I don't know everything, so I might have to look it up or check with someone else. But, that's just part of everything. This is a 2005 Ford Ranger bumper. This is my brother's project. I'm teaching him how to weld, teaching him how to fabricate. So he's doing that pretty much almost all by himself. I helped him bend the tubing and everything on that. But other than that, he's pretty much doing the rest of it. And for those of you who don't know, my nickname is Squints, so you might see this sometimes. Squints the Welder was my old Instagram name. I was given this name when I was in the fabricating school, because if I turn my hat around backwards, I have a clean shaven face and I wear my other glasses, I look like Squints from the Sandlots. And at first I thought it was kind of ridiculous, but I ended up rocking it after all, which was pretty funny actually. So here's the miter saw right here for cutting our tubing. In the future, we're gonna do a rack up here to hold all the tubing and everything. And I'd love you guys to be able to see how that was built and done as well. I also have a Suzuki Samurai that was my grandfather's, that was passed down to me. And I'm planning on doing a lot to that. Making a rear bumper for it, and making links for it, because I want to 4-link it. I'm going to put a new engine in it. I'm not going to use the one that my grandfather put in it, which was a sidekick engine, but I'm going to do a Toyota engine, the 22RE, which I already have built, and it's ready to go in. I already have the wiring harness ready. It's basically ready to plug and play, and it's going to be epic. So anyway, let's show you a little bit more around here. This is my roll-around cart. For those of you who don't know, you can make these at the fabric school. It's one of their projects that they make. They grade you based on how you do on it and all that. But let me tell you, that is the most handy thing I've ever made, hands down. I love that thing. You can sit down low to the ground, work on cars, on the side paneling, on doors, on whatever you need to work on, and not be super high up, like a regular stool like that. And not only that, it rolls around. I've even had times where I've had to use that right by the welding bench to sit down lower, because I need to be lower to come around a tube or something, and I don't have the luxury all the time to flip something over, because a lot of times I'm here only by myself. So therefore, if it's too heavy, something like this, where I can't just pick it up and flip it over necessarily, because I don't want to break the tacks apart, then sometimes I have to weld from underneath and work my way up, which is not too big a deal, because after you've been welding for a while, like doing roll cages and stuff, you learn how to weld upside down, basically inside out and all around. And it can be challenging, but it's definitely doable. So let's give you guys a little tour of the 69 Ford Bronco, since this has been a little bit of a teaser. Here's the inside. I know it's kind of a mess right now, but we did all the sheet metal, all the fitting. Came out absolutely beautiful. We did all basically spot welds all inside. Some were done with a MIG welder, and some were done with the spot welder that we have. And it's coming out really nice. The roof here, there was a hole here. We welded that shut. Well, I shouldn't say we, someone else did, and it got all warped and everything. So therefore, I had to start straightening it out. It's not quite done yet, but what happened was it's got a lot of oil cannings. So when you press down on it, on the top, it you guys have probably seen it, it pops in, and then when you let go of it, it pops out. And that's called oil canning. So you have to shrink and stretch in certain areas, and you do that by hammer and dolly and heat. You add a lot of heat, and then you put water on it right away, and that shrinks it. I'll be doing videos on stuff like that, because that all has to do with metal shaping. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. So here's the inside of here, underneath the well. A lot of this is not quite finished, but it's in the works of being finished. as soon as all the fabrication is done, what we're gonna be doing is taking it all apart, painting it, put it back together. We'll probably be doing a lot of the paint stuff ourselves. I have a friend of mine who's really, really good at painting, and he's the guy to go to. This is a 351 Windsor motor. You guys are probably familiar with it, some of you out there. This is out of a Ford Explorer. And it's pretty cool to do that kind of stuff, in my opinion, for older cars stuff. So in a way, it's similar to a resto mod, but it's not. It's staying mostly original. The only thing that's really different is we're going fuel injection, and we're doing a 351 Windsor in here, which is really, really cool. We're doing an automatic transmission in this also, not a stick. But now here's the other cool thing. These are out of Ford Explorer 2. We got new seats, or not, well, they got reupholstered out of a Ford Explorer, and they look fantastic. You know, you guys will see those later on down the road as well. So, you know, stay tuned. You know, you guys, I really would appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the like button, and, you know, like I said, there are going to be more videos to come. This is not the only one. There's going to be many, many more to come along, and it's going to be fun. We're going to learn some stuff. We're going to do this together. I want you guys to follow me through my journey, like I said in the beginning of the video. So anyway, with that being said, I'd like to say thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys another time.